motor carrier regulations, which also adopt by reference the federal motor carrier regulations. Adopting by reference allows the police department to continue to cite violations without having to adopt new ordinance each time something in the statute or the federal motor carrier regulations changes. I did attach all of the statutes involved in this for your review. I found most of them incredibly boring, but size and weight doesn't excite me too much. Anyway, per the attached, also per KSA 124305, the municipal court judge is responsible for the establishment of fines, and she has reviewed and approved the fine schedule that we'll address with the next ordinance. City Attorney Hubbard reviewed and approved this ordinance and the associated ordinance for the fine schedule. And with that, Officer Huff is here to present to you a PowerPoint about his truck inspection safety program.
Thank you, Laura.
I will.
Good evening, Officer Huff.
Good evening. Hope I don't embarrass anybody here. Try to keep this short and sweet and move on. As I stated, my name is Robert Huff. I've been a police officer in Gardner here for 8 years. I have over 11 years in law enforcement experience in Johnson County, actually. I'm here this evening, again, to speak to you about the commercial vehicle truck inspection program that we've put in place and hope to get passed tonight. This program is regulated by the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance. CVSA is a nonprofit organization comprising of local, state, and federal motor carrier safety officials and industry representatives from the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The mission of the CVSA is to promote commercial vehicle safety by providing leadership to enforcement, industry, and policymakers. In the early 80s, the western states observed the similarities amongst different states' enforcement codes and created CVSA. They did this to develop a standard of uniformity in the U.S. when it comes to commercial vehicle inspections. They realized uniformity in inspections is more effective in making roadways safer for all motorists. A memorandum of understanding was developed to establish uniformity in roadside enforcement and improve the safe operations of commercial vehicles. The MOU outlined a minimum number of inspections and out-of-service criteria, which I'll get into more about when we reach the slides about the inspections. The MOU was initially adopted by the 7 western states that mainly focused on inspections where most of the commercial vehicle traffic was in the U.S. at that time. CVSA found it was immediately effective in the reduction of commercial vehicle accidents. This drew the attention of the motor carrier industry and other groups who became supportive and active in the further development of the CVSA program. What started with 7 states adopting this program has grown to the participation of all of North America. So the U.S., Canada, and Mexico is all on the same page with this program. The main focus of the program is to increase the safety of our citizens in Gardner and the surrounding communities by conducting roadside safety inspections of commercial vehicles. Safety inspections ensure compliance with the federal motor carrier safety regulations, reduce the risk of accidents, and reduce excessive wear on roadways through weight and size enforcement. As I stated, I've completed 80 hours of training through the Kansas Highway Patrol when it comes to the CVSA program. This gave me the highest level of certification, which is a level 1 inspection. There are 3 levels of inspection, which I'll go through with you. A level 3 being the lowest inspection consists of a 13-step process that deals specifically with the driver, mainly focusing on the driver certifications to operate a commercial vehicle, his hours of service, or his logbook. CVSA has identified various safety concerns involving the driver, from improperly licensed driver, fatigue due to driving, or working too many hours, which increases the chance of commercial vehicle accidents. A level 2 inspection consists of a 31-step process, also including the lower level 3 inspection, and adds some of the vehicle to the inspection. A level 2 inspection includes a walk around of the vehicle, looking for violations on the vehicle itself, like lighting, tires, markings, or proper load securement. A level 2 inspection is everything except underneath the vehicle, so that's just walking around the outside of the vehicle. A level 1 inspection, again, is the certification level I hold, is a 37-step process that includes 2 and 3 level inspection. it adds, like I said, the underneath of the vehicle. The thing we're looking for underneath the vehicles, that's when the brakes come into play, the air lines, and the frame of the vehicle itself. The reason why the level 1 inspection is important is because they have identified that brakes are one of the leading causes of commercial motor vehicle accidents. So that's the main focus, again, is the safety of the program. The amount of time on these inspections varies. It's not like your normal traffic stop, which may take anywhere from 9 to 15 minutes. On a truck inspection, the minimum time is usually 15 minutes, and that's actually working at a pretty fast pace. Through my training, I had to do 32 inspections to be released and get my certification. During these 32, we had one inspection that actually took us over 2 hours to complete. So they are very thorough inspections and a very thorough process we go through. Maintenance to roadways is another reason why we do these inspections. Besides the safety, excess wear to the roadways is a main priority, especially in our city. At Build-Out Intermodal Logistics Park, they projected approximately 7,000 trucks a day. Currently, with the construction, we've already seen a major increase in our truck traffic through our city. The increased truck traffic will greatly impact our roadways. Although you may not visibly see the damage, it's the lifespan of the roadway that will be compromised. When a commercial vehicle is overweight, the amount of stress on the roadways actually increases twofold almost. As you can see on the middle statement there, just a normal legally weight truck at 80,000 pounds, a normal semi that's able to carry 80,000 pounds, 5 axles, it weighs about the same as 20 regular vehicles, but the impact on the roadway is the same as 9,600 automobiles. So not saying that all trucks are overweight, it's just a truck itself with the weight adds excessive wear to our roadways. And again, trying to stop 80,000 pounds, you want to make sure that the brakes and everything are in good working order. Speaking of the overweight part, we have the scales on I-35. Those trucks that are overweight typically try to find alternate routes to avoid those scales because they don't want to be fined for being overweight. Unfortunately, with the location of the scales right now, Gardner has those alternate routes that allow those trucks to travel through our roadways, and being overweight causes more damage to our roads. Future movement of the scales, which I know is something that's been talked about in the past, doesn't necessarily move us out of those alternate routes and keep those trucks from coming through town. Depending on how far they move that down the roadway, we still have access points to those alternate routes that may travel still right down here through 56 Highway, right down through Main Street here. Through the strict enforcement and awareness of the program, we can hopefully prevent overweight trucks from using those routes through our city. We can also, hopefully in the future, bring on the use of portable scales, which allows us to add another level of safety to our community, and again, try to reduce that excessive stress on our roadways. There are several agencies in Johnson County that participate in this program. I will say not all cities in Johnson County, several throughout the metropolitan area, but we focus mainly on the Kansas side of that, so Johnson, Wyandotte County. Through the cooperation between local agencies, we can increase the awareness of the program and increase the effectiveness of making the roadway safer for our community. Multiple agencies gather periodically to set up an inspection lane in different communities in our area. By being a member of the CVSA program, we're allowed to participate in these inspection lanes, which greatly benefits the local communities in our area and will also benefit our own. This also allows us to ask to schedule an inspection lane in our city. And again, the assistance of other local agencies will come to us to help us with those lanes. The more inspections we can do locally, the safer our community will be. Like I said, real brief, real short. I hope I didn't embarrass myself or anybody else. And if there's any questions I have, I'll try to answer them. If not, my bosses do the talking over here.
I have just a couple of questions. First, thank you. We've been wanting to do this, I think, since last year, so this was great.
Very well.
Does your certification give you the ability to train other officers and certify them, or do they still have to go through the same?
It does not.
Okay.
The CVS program is very strict on how that happens. They actually have the academy for that, the 8-hour classes in Salina at the Kansas Highway Patrol.